Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to make sense of all the fancy corporate jargon so you don't have to. And boy, do we have a juicy one today. Get ready because we are diving deep into Biofrontera Inc. and a special meeting that had some pretty big decisions being made. Before we get started, if you love getting these unvarnished looks at company filings, make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an episode. Also, we have a fantastic community over on Discord where we break down these reports even further. You can find the link right down in the description below. So this report is all about a meeting held on September 16th, 2025. It was a special meeting for Biofrontera Incorporated shareholders, and it seems like a lot of important stuff was on the table. This filing is an 8K report, which basically means something important happened that the company needs to tell everyone about right away. Think of it as an immediate update from Biofrontera Incorporated. Now let's talk about what was actually voted on. The first big proposal was about changing the company's foundational document, the Certificate of Incorporation. They were looking at doing something called a reverse stock split. To keep things simple, a reverse stock split is when a company reduces the number of its outstanding shares. They might do this to boost the price of each share. For example, if you had 10 shares worth $1 each, and the company did a 1 for 10 reverse split, you would then have one share worth $10. The total value of your investment stays the same, but the share price looks higher. Biofrontera shareholders voted on this, and we see the numbers here. Over 7 million shares voted for it. Then things get a bit more complex. There were votes related to preferred stock Series C and Series D. Preferred stock is a bit different from common stock. It often comes with special rights or preferences. Essentially, shareholders were deciding whether to issue more common stock tied to the conversion of these preferred shares, and whether to get rid of any limits on how those preferred shares could be voted. In the case of Series C preferred stock, we see over 3.4 million votes in favour of issuing more common stock related to this. And for Series D preferred stock, a similar proposal, but with a larger chunk voting in favour with over 5 million votes for. These moves likely aim to clean up the company's capital structure, making it simpler and potentially more attractive to investors. It is interesting to note the broker non-votes on these preferred stock proposals. These are shares held by brokers on behalf of clients who did not provide instructions on how to vote. The fact that there were nearly 3 million on the Series C and Series D votes suggests a significant number of shares are held in this manner, and their holders did not actively participate in these specific decisions. The last item put to a vote was a pretty standard one at these types of meetings, an adjournment proposal. This is essentially a proposal to allow the meeting to be postponed if needed to gather more votes or information on the other proposals. Over 7.3 million votes supported this, which is a strong indicator that the board wanted flexibility to ensure the other proposals passed smoothly. Signing off on this report is Efred Leffler III, the Chief Financial Officer. This gives us a direct line from the financial leadership to these corporate actions. Now let's put on our investor hat and see what this all means for Biofrontera Incorporated. The company is clearly taking steps to manage its share structure and potentially improve its listing status on the Nasdaq. A reverse stock split is often a signal of trying to meet minimum price requirements, but it doesn't fundamentally change the company's value. The key here is the shareholder approval to do it if the board deems it necessary. The votes on the preferred stock conversions are also significant. They indicate a move towards simplifying the ownership structure and potentially making it easier to raise capital in the future without the complexities of different share classes and voting rights. Looking at the vote counts, especially the substantial number of votes for each proposal, it appears the Biofrontera Incorporated management has strong support from its shareholders for these strategic maneuvers. The company is publicly traded as BFR. And the fact that it is registered in Delaware and listed on the Nasdaq as indicated in the filing supports its status as a publicly accessible entity. What are the risks and opportunities here? Well, the opportunity is cleaner financials, a potentially higher stock price that could attract more institutional investors, and a more streamlined capital structure. The risk, as always with reverse splits, is that the market might not react positively and the underlying business issues are not addressed. If the company's fundamental performance doesn't improve, merely changing the share count won't solve long-term problems. They are also identified as an emerging growth company, which usually means they have a bit more flexibility with financial reporting rules. In my opinion, Biofrontera Incorporated is in a phase of restructuring its corporate mechanics. They are clearing the decks to potentially pave the way for future growth or strategic initiatives. The approval for the reverse split being contingent on the board's decision is a good sign of active management, but it ultimately depends on the company's ability to execute on its business plan. The market will be watching to see if these changes translate into improved financial performance and a stronger stock price. Alright, that is our breakdown of this Biofrontera Incorporated filing. What is your take on these decisions and what do you think they signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps us out, and make sure you are subscribed for more deep dives like this. Don't forget to check out our Discord community linked in the description. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.